Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Srila Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Srila Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Srila Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Srila Gurudev. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhams Parivrajaka Astodasa Srimad Srila Abhaya Charnar Vrind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem se bolo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Shrimadaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Shrimate Jaya Pataka Swami Dhyamine Namo Acharya Padani Thai Patavadani Gaur Katha Jamine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavani Pashati Deshtarine. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. Disappeared. So welcome everybody on this wonderful Good Friday. Everybody's online only. So today we'll be continuing from studying Canto 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 3, new chapter, entitled Pure Devotional Service, The Change in Heart. So before we start, we'll be doing text number 1 today. We'll all do Mangal Charan together. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुता पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतां सावधूतां परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यां भागवत सेवयात् भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। Text 1 of chapter 3 of canto 2 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Sukha Uvacha Evam etan nigatitam Prishtavanyad bhavan mama Nrinamyan mirayamananam Manushyeshu manishinam. Shri Sukha Uvacha Evam etan nigaditam Prishtavanyad bhavan mama nrinamyanmiramananam manusyeshu manishinam. Shri Shuka uvacha evametan nigaditam prishtavan yad bhavan mama nrinamyan mriyamananam manusyeshu manishinam. Word for word translation. Shri Sukha uvacha. Shri Sukadev Goswami said, Evam, so, etat, all these, nigaditam, answered, prishtavan, as you inquired, yat, what, bhavan, your good self, mama, unto me, nrinam, of the human being, yat, one, mriyamananam, on the threshold of death, manusyeshu, amongst the human beings, manishinam, of the intelligent men. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Shri Sukadev Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, as you have inquired from me as to the duty of the intelligent man who is on the threshold of death, so I have answered you. Purport. In human society, all over the world, there are millions and billions of men and women. And almost all of them are less intelligent because they have very little knowledge of the spirit soul. Almost all of them have a wrong conception of life. For they identify themselves with the gross and subtle material bodies, which are not in fact. They may be situated in different high and low positions in the estimations of human society. But one should know definitely that unless one inquires about his own self beyond the body and the mind, all his activities in human life are total failures. Therefore, out of thousands and thousands of men, one may inquire about his spirit self and thus consult the revealed scriptures like Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. But in spite of reading and hearing such scriptures, unless one is in touch with a realized spiritual master, he cannot actually realize the real nature of the self, etc. And out of thousands and hundreds of thousands of men, some may know what Lord Krishna is in fact. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 20, text 122 to 123, it is said that Lord Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, prepared the Vedic literatures in the incarnation of Vyasadeva for reading by the intelligent class of men in a human society which is almost totally forgetful of the genuine relationship with Krishna. Even such an intelligent class of men may be forgetful in this relationship with the Lord. The whole Bhakti Yoga process is therefore a revival of the lost relation. This revival is possible in the human form of life, which is obtained only out of the evolutionary cycle of 8.4 million species of life. The intelligent class of human being must take a serious note of this opportunity. Not all human beings are intelligent, so the importance of human life is not always understood. Therefore, Manishinam, meaning thoughtful. Is particularly used here. A Manishinam person like Maharaj Parikshit must therefore take to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and fully engage himself in devotional service, hearing, chanting, etc. of the holy name and pastimes of the Lord, which are all Hari Kathamrita. This action is specially recommended when one is preparing for death. Jai Srila Prabhupada. It's a very beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada, emphasizing on taking a spiritual master, engaging devotional service, and preparing to die. Yes. So we'll read the shloka again. Shri Sukha Vacha Evam Etan Nigaditam Prishtavan Yad Bhavan Mama Nrinamyan Mriyamananam Manusyeshu Manishinam. So the first couplet of the shloka, Evam etan nigaditam prishtavan yad bhavan mama. So here Sukadev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj that, my dear Parikshit, you have asked me a question and I have replied to your question. So what do we understand from this exchange? Right, in this entire chapter, chapter 3 of Canto 2, we will notice a unique pattern. There are 25 shlokas in this chapter. And in these 25 shlokas, Sukadev Goswami will be talking for half of the shlokas. He will be talking for about, I think maybe 11-12 shlokas, roughly. I don't remember the exact number, but 11-12 shlokas. And the rest of the shlokas will be spoken by Shaunaka Rishi. So that's an interesting, joining of shlokas. And we will find this pattern repeat sometimes. The pattern that I'm discussing about is, after Sukadev Goswami presents very nicely an answer to Parikshit Maharaj, so, Shaunaka becomes enlivened. And he asks, or he encourages Suta Goswami to tell more about this conversation between Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So this we can find this pattern interesting. Now you can imagine Shaunaka Rishi is spending about 13-14 shlokas asking only one question. And what is that question? What did Parikshit ask next? So that's interesting that your question is about somebody else's question. So this idea of asking questions, being intrigued by the question that is being asked, is the very essence of our spiritual awakening. So here we see in this shloka, Sukadev Goswami is telling Parikshit, you asked me a question, I have now replied. Right? So you will actually see this intriguing, intriguing focus on answering to the type of question that is asked. Now, the reason why, if you see Shaunaka Rishi is spending some time asking, 13 shlokas asking just one specific question, which is, what did Parikshit ask next? When we see this pattern, and we'll see this pattern repeat in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's an interesting pattern. Just, spending time in asking just one question. We will actually see that the reason this is being told is when the question is being asked, the mood is also being set of what is the mood of the person who wants to listen to the answer. Right? So I hope that makes sense. So when a question is asked, we should also try to understand the mood of the person who is asking the question. Yep. So sometimes somebody may walk up to you and he may say, rather that's not a good example. Let's take this example. Whenever we go to the supermarket, and we come to the checkout section. Of course, nowadays there is self-checkout, but barring that, when we go to an actual checkout center and then somebody is scanning our goods, they always ask you, so hope you're doing well, or how are you doing? So although they are asking a question, how are you doing, the mood of asking that question is not to actually understand how you are actually doing. It is more so an aspect of recognition of you as a person who is in front of the counter that I am dealing with. So if I am at the counter, I see somebody come in with their shopping, I look at them and say, how are you doing? And then I start swiping. So the mood of the person asking the question is not to understand the actual health, well-being of the customer. Right? So this is important. This idea that when a question is asked, what mood is being set up for the person who is asking the question? What is the mood of that person? So that is why we will see these patterns in Srimad Bhagavatam, where a question is asked, but also the mood is explained. Right? So Parikshit Maharaj, he asks the question to Sukadev Goswami, that what should a man do who is dying? Right? So that is a question. We can also ask that question. We are seeing right now there is a lockdown because of coronavirus. So we are also taking action to this very question. What should a person do when someone is dying? Yes? You can appreciate that? We are also answering this very same question. But our mood is different. Our mood is that, oi, what should we do? People are dying. I may die. I don't want to die. I want to live forever. And where? In the material world, not in the spiritual world. So our mood of asking this question is different. So then we have come up with this, enormous, complicated answer. There should be a lockdown. Economy should be shut down. We should have a stimulus package. We must stop traveling. Any traveler that comes in must self-isolate. Yada, 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 yada. So you can see this big expansive setup is being done to answer this question. The same question that Parikshit also has. Right? Do you get it? So we have a question. We have the same question. What should a man do when someone is dying? Right? And our reaction is different. We are trying to protect ourselves, protect our assets, our money, our lives, our family. We are very intrigued. We are very compounded by this idea. But then we see the mood of Parikshit. And in fact, we see the mood of the rishis in Naimisharanya. The mood of the rishis in Naimisharanya is, my God, Kali Yuga has come. Human life has become degraded and human life has become shortened. So at this point, let us all congregate and let us all do a yajna for the benefit of society. So that is sadhu. Right? Sadhu. So sadhu is always thinking, something inauspicious is happening. What can I do to cause auspiciousness? So sadhu's mood. Yes? Whenever we start Srimad Bhagavatam, we do Mangal Charan to cause auspiciousness. So a sadhu is thinking like this. So the people in Naimisharanya, they are sitting there and they are in this mood. They are thinking, how to cause auspiciousness. Now, we see Parikshit Maharaj. He has realized that he is about to die. So he is not thinking, okay, let me lock myself down. Actually, if we read, in Mahabharata, we actually see this concept of lockdown in Mahabharata. We do actually see that. It is explained because, again, the mood of Mahabharata is different to the mood of Bhagavatam. So we are discussing about the mood of the personality, right? So the mood that is being exposed in Mahabharata is different. It's about kings and about activities of kings. So it is more focused on, karma. Of course, we do find Bhagavad Gita in Mahabharata. So it is not only focused on that, but the generic mood that it is ascribing to is about how karma plays a part. So there we actually see that it is explained that there is a big tower that is made and the tower has no gates and no doors, and Parikshit Maharaj is sitting there ready, ready to pass over the curse, the moment of the curse. Why? Because that's a lockdown. Just like we are doing now. That's a lockdown. Right? So Parikshit Maharaj is locked up there, cooped up there, so that Takshaka, the great snake bird, does not arrive. Right? So we see in in Mahabharata, there is that mood that is being described. But here in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj finds out the mood of the personality that we are describing, is that, oh, I'm about to die, he immediately gives up his family and his kingdom. So we can appreciate this mood. That imagine suddenly we all realize, oh, coronavirus is there. Oh, I will give up my family and give up everybody, and I'll go and I will chant Krishna. We go to St. Leonard's Park and sit and start reading Bhagavatam. We'll get arrested. But please don't leave your family and all at this time. Devotees must stay together. Family is sadhu sangha. So stay with them and glorify Krishna. Right? So that you'll become an example to the whole society. So, but here Parikshit, he's trying to put up a different mood. So the idea is the mood that is being positioned. The mood of Parikshit is different. The mood that is being spoken about in Bhagavatam is that you have no hope now in this material world. You were the king of this world. And now you have been cursed to die. So there is no hope. Now who do you turn to? So that wonderful mood is being presented. And then we have to realize that mood. We have to say, yes, actually no matter what setup we do in this planet Earth, economic stimulus, lockdown, travel ban, isolation, nothing can actually save us in this material world. This material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatha. And we will keep getting entangled in this material world. Right? So that is the mood that is being presented. So in that mood, Parikshit, then he leaves everything. He comes in, on the banks of the river Ganges. There he sits and he asks, what should a dying man do? So that is his mood. And so Sukadev Goswami, he is responding to that mood. And similarly, Suta Goswami is responding to the mood of the rishis. So here Sukadev Goswami is responding to the mood of Parikshit that yes, you are correct. There is no hope in this material world. There's a term, right? No hope in hell. So there is no hope in this material world. So similarly, we will also see that the rishis of Naimisharanya and Suta Goswami, he is giving the rishis of Naimisharanya this idea that there is, although Kali Yuga has come, by the glorification of Krishna, Kali's influence can be destroyed. So then Suta Goswami is presenting that mood, and here Sukadev Goswami, he is moving with the mood of Parikshit. So the immediate mood of Parikshit, what should a dying man do? What should be his activity? Now, as and when Parikshit Maharaj starts asking questions, you will see the switch in his mood. His mood will change. And as his mood will change, the way Sukadev Goswami is presenting will change. And so that's why we'll start seeing these wonderful chapters and cantos, adhyayas written of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is, it is the movement of the mood. So we'll go back again to the first two lines, the couplet. Evam Sukha Vacha evametan nigaditam prishtavan yad bhavan mama. So the word prishtavan means one who has inquired, right? So here first Sukadev Goswami is saying, my dear Parikshit Maharaj, you asked the question, I have now responded. That one should Sukadev Goswami has given a synopsis. He says, my dear Parikshit, first we discussed about Brahman realization, then Paramatma realization, and then Bhagwan realization. So this is the only surrender we have. Right? So he's answered the question. Right? But now Parikshit Maharaj is now getting intrigued. He's trying to understand, so what now? And so this is interesting. Because Parikshit Maharaj has 7 days, right? he has a particular mood. You can see that he's changing his mood as Bhagavatam is progressing. And his mood becomes more and more buoyant and more engaged towards Krishna consciousness. Right? So we will see that journey. And also, we will see something, we will see this pattern of Sukadev Goswami answering questions of Parikshit Maharaj in a way that that Parikshit's bhava also changes. So this is what a spiritual master does. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he writes a very interesting line. So we'll just, I want to repeat that. It's very beautifully written. Therefore, the emphasis that Srila Prabhupada that puts, that is important. Therefore, out of thousands and thousands of men, one may inquire about his spirit self. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanaman mam prapadde. And thus consult the revealed scriptures like Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. But in spite of reading and hearing, such scriptures, unless one is in touch with a realized spiritual master, he cannot actually realize the real nature of the self, etc. So I found this very interesting, that we can see practically between the relationship of Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit, how first Parikshit has a question, Sukadev Goswami answers, but he also puts hope in Parikshit's heart. That the hope is not material, but it is spiritual. And then Parikshit, then he will try to understand this hope more. Right? Whenever we are in a dire state, we are looking for hope. Right? And when someone waters that hope, we become very enlivened. Now, we can understand that when we have hope, we have generally two reactions to hope. Right? One reaction of hope is passive. Right? So when we get hope, we look at something and then we passively just try to assimilate the answer. So when I say passive means, there was an interesting conversation one devotee had with a guy who's like a life coach. So he tries to encourage people to become successful. So this devotee was saying, I was reading this article, so this devotee was saying that one time he had stayed back in this seminar and he ended up being the only person left in the hall. So everyone else had left, and the person who was this life coach who was presenting how people can become successful, the guy was packing up. So this devotee because he was alone, he went to this personality and he said, "My dear sir, you are actually expounding about how people become successful. What is the success rate? Right? What is the success rate of this seminars that you run?" So this life coach actually gave a very intriguing answer to the devotee. He said, actually not much. He says, most of the people who are coming here don't actually want to do anything. They simply want to hear and get hope that, oh, this is how people become successful. Not many are going to implement. So this idea that sometimes when we have hope and when somebody inspires our hope, we have two reactions. One is passive. So passive is, oh yes, Krishna has done this, okay, very good, yes. So passive, right? Okay, so, all right, so it'll happen to me also, okay, no problem. The other reaction to hope is active. So then this person was telling this devotee that if somebody was to actually implement this, they'll become extremely successful. But not many do. So I keep presenting seminars, make people feel good that, oh yes, now I know how to be successful. But then they go home and then they go back to their normal life. So even a materialist, he can see this pattern. So as devotees, what we try to do is when we get hope of Krishna consciousness, we try to break away from this inactivity. This inactive nature you can see in Jnanis and Yogis. So Jnani and Yogis, when they get this hope, this material world is terrible, there is another place which is spiritual, their focus is on the inactive aspect of one's reaction. So me as a jiva, when I realize this material world is terrible, right? And when I find hope, that there is hope in the spiritual world, right? My general the reaction that I'm trying to fan in me is inactivity. So this is what Karmi and Yogi is doing. So Karmi and Yogi is just focusing on, let me do some activity, do some worship, eventually become a yogi, and eventually go back. Sorry, not Karmi, I apologize. Jnani and Yogi. Let me eventually move out of this material realm. And so where do they end up? In Brahmajyoti. Because their mood, what they were fanning was inactivity, they come to a place of inactivity, which is Brahmajyoti. But here Sukadev Goswami, he's trying to fan the active part of the hope, which is bhakti. So bhakti is the active nature. I was in a university and I was telling the students that bhakti yoga, it is active meditation. So there is passive meditation, which generally the Jnanis and the Yogis will encourage. And then there is active meditation, which is bhakti yoga. It is meditation, but it is active. Right? So we will see that this is what Sukadev Goswami is trying to fan. And Parikshit Maharaj, of course, being a great devotee of Krishna, he saw Krishna when he was a young boy. Right? Krishna has protected him physically, emotionally, and now through Guru. Right? He's being protected. So Parikshit naturally gets that active aspect of his hope fan. Right? So here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that the spiritual master, he knows how to fan this active hope. This hope, to create activity in one's hope, to generate the bhakti. The spiritual master knows how to do. I like this line that Srila Prabhupada writes, that a person cannot realize the real nature of the self without having a spiritual master, and then he puts a comma and etc. What do we mean? Is just simply realizing the nature of the self. That I don't belong to this material world, therefore I am spiritual. That is not enough. That is just the inactive aspect of it. The etc. is talking about actually becoming active in the spiritual world. Go beyond Brahmajyoti. Enter into the Vaikunthas, and hopefully, eventually enter into either Vrindavan or Mayapur. Right? So, this is spiritual master. This is what he fans. Right? So, that is the first couplet. Oh, it's 8:45. That watch is still on daylight saving. It's showing 9:45. I actually thought, my God, did I speak for 1 hour? Sorry, more than 1 hour. Dangerous. Sorry, I'll quickly finish with the second couplet. So the next couplet of the shloka is Rinanam yad mirayamananam manushyeshu manishinam. So here it is saying that the human being is on the threshold of death. So we must sometimes appreciate what is this threshold of death. That I am on a threshold of death. What death is this? This is the death, right? When we think of time or kala, right? So that is the principle of destruction. So death is a principle of destruction. So what is it that we are destroying? We are destroying our relationship with Krishna. So that is what death is. Death is, now you had an opportunity, we didn't use the opportunity to revive our relationship with Krishna. Death comes, we get more and more entangled. Right? So that is what death represents. So here, Mriya Mananam means one who's on the Mriyate, one who is dying, on the threshold of death. And the reason why it is, why here it is being presented that the human being is on the threshold of death. Right? Nrinanam yan Mriyamananam. It is because we are always trying to forget our relationship with Krishna. So we are on the threshold of death every single time. Right? But of these people, there is a Manishina. There is a Mana Isha. one who can, one who has the ability to be able to control the mind. Here Srila Prabhupada refers to him as being the intelligent man. The intelligent man recognizes the fact that they are on the threshold of death. And because they can recognize that, they then go into the journey of finding that hope. When we realize that we are in a dead place, what do? Imagine we are sleeping, we suddenly wake up and we realize we are in a cemetery, right? We are in a place where there are only dead people buried. We are in a burial place, in a cemetery. We're like, what? What am I doing in a cemetery? I need to get out of this place. So that is the hope. So when we realize we are in the threshold of death and we wake up and we see, whoa, I'm in a cemetery. This is almost like a horror movie. I got to get out. Right? So that run or that stepping out, that is Manishina. So Manishina, an intelligent person, realizes that practically at every step, padam padam yad vipadam. Right? That every step, death can be there. Every step. I was realizing one time that I was crossing the road and there was that machine, like you press the button and then it tells you whether you should cross the road or not. So it's for the pedestrian signal, the red or green. So I pressed that and then I was listening, that machine, it gives some noise, right? It gives a noise, tick, 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 tick. When you have to cross, it goes tick, 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 tick. Right? And then when it stops, when you are no longer allowed to cross, it goes silent. So I was thinking that this is like the heartbeat, the human heartbeat. Right? We don't know when we are going to die. We are standing on the road, we want to cross. But the moment we put our step onto the road, we don't know suddenly if a guy on the other side decides to just hit the accelerator. Right? Life is so precarious, right? We just don't know. At any moment, somebody can attack us. Ramaya Swami Maharaj, he presented very nicely this idea. He was saying that in animal life, the animal is being eaten while it is alive. So that is so crazy, isn't it? That you are alive and the other animal is eating you. So he was saying, imagine like a snake, it's eating. The animal is alive and it is, going in alive. So this is, we should realize that is the level of that is the level at which mriyamanana, that we are at the threshold of death. That even one step we take, suddenly something can happen and we can die. Right? We just don't know. So that aspect that Sukadev Goswami is presenting, that an intelligent person recognizes this and therefore he wants to engage in the activity of getting out of the material world, but bit beyond that, and then engaging into the spiritual world and becoming a devotee of Krishna. So I will end here. Sorry, I went a bit over time. I closed my eyes today, so I wasn't paying attention. Right? So we will end here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Ram Ram